Hi everybody, this is Janet Robin, and this is part 2 of the more advanced finger picking in the blues style. So hopefully you caught part 1 and you're ready for part 2 now. So where I left off from part 1 was we did E and A7 of the progression and the pattern and the finger picking for that, but we didn't do the B7 part, and that's what we're going to do now, and then we're going to put it all together. So B7 up to the C, and it's just kind of the final piece in this progression. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like before, call out the string numbers as I'm telling you what the pattern is. Of course, again, we're using 4 fingers. The bass line is going to be now between 5 and 4 because we're on B7. The melody line is going to be picked on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger on 3, 2, and 1. All right, so let's start B7, and we're going to pick 5 on its own, and then 4 and 1. And I'm using these fingers, okay? Thumb and ring. And why? Because we're going to use these next. So everything works in order like a machine, and it helps the pattern to be smooth and also helps with speed. So 5 on its own, 4 and 1, 5, 4 and 1. Back to 5 now. 5. Get that syncopation going. 5. Okay, now we're going to add another note. 2. Okay, string 2 is with my middle finger. All right, 5, 2, 5, 2. It's sort of pushed, right? 5, 2. Back to 4 with my thumb, keeping that bass line going. That's 2, 4 we've added. 2, 4, 2, 4. All right, here we go. Stay with me. 5, 2, 4. Again. 5, 2, 4. Now we're going to add 3 with our first finger. All right, so we have, all right, kind of that cool dissonant blues note there. Here we go. 5, 2, 4, 3. All right, I'll call it out from the beginning. 5, 4 and 1. 5, 2, 4, 3. Okay, now after that, we're going to move it up to the C, but we're going to do something a little bit different, slightly different pattern, more like a triplet thing. So let's do the regular B7 first. Okay, move it up, and we're going to go like this: 5, 5, 3, 4, 2. And I know that 2 sounds a little off, kind of more dissonant, but I like the way it sounds. It's kind of haunting to me. So 5, 3, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 2. And I realize we're playing the whole chord. We're not using that. You could if you wanted, but I'm not doing that. So 5, 3, 4, 2. And then you just move it back down to the B7. 5, 3, 4, 2. And back to your resolve chord, E. Okay, so we have this. And then move it up. 5, 3, 4, 2. 5, 3, 4, 2. 5, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. 5, 2, 4, 3. 5, 2, 4, 3. 5, 2, 4, 3. And then, okay, I'm going to put it together, and you're going to try to stay with me. Just the B7. And again, 5, 2, 4, 3. Okay, and back to the E. Now, I find like working on transitions from one chord to the next, especially with finger picking, sometimes it's good to just do one pattern on one chord, and then for the transition, just do part of the finger picking for the next chord, because your brain might get a little panicked and confused on, you know, if you try to just jump into doing the pattern on the next chord. it's better to like break it up and do it in pieces and add one string or two strings at a time if you can handle it. For example, kind of the E, you know, chord that we're doing and moving to the A7, right? In the previous first part one lesson, you would do the regular pattern on the E that you learned. Okay, and you go around several times, and then eventually going to move to the A7, and maybe you will only do that, okay, to work in the transition smoother and to not just force yourself to try to get it right away and keep making mistakes. I think that's just bad practice habits, in my opinion. So you do a whole pattern on E, and just part of it, and you do reps of that. And then maybe add another note or two. Right? And then you would keep building on that until you're really comfortable with the transition. Because again, we're not only changing chords, we're changing the pattern on the right hand. It's a totally different pattern. So the same thing would be going from the E to the B7, which is, you know, our new transition today. So the E to the B7 on the left hand, very easy transition. So hopefully if you're, you know, already in this part two of the advanced picking part, you should be comfortable with transitioning to that chord. But if not, you can just do some reps, switching E, B7, E, B7, E, B7, E, B7, okay? And then, again, you take my idea of just doing part of the transition to the next chord. So E and the B7, I actually did. So it would be 5, 4, and 1. Or you could just do 5, you know, if you're not ready to do 4 and 1. But see how many notes you can handle. So, and you do reps. So maybe you just add that before you do the move, okay? And you build and do the transitions that way. It's much, like I said, much smarter practice habits. All right, so I'm gonna play it all the way through. You're gonna try to stay with me. There's repetitions of the chords. It's just a regular, you know, blues pattern. You play E like, you know, 4 times in the beginning, and then you move to the A7, twice go back to the E, you know, and then the B7, slide it up, back to the B7, and then E, and you do a turnaround, all right? So here we go. I'm not gonna call out the numbers this time. You're gonna try to stay with me. So hopefully you've paused the video and practiced a little on your own, and now you're coming back to try to play with me. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... Come on now. B7 and turn around. A7 Now, of course, this kind of finger picking, these patterns, using 4 fingers, you can do it on any chord. This was just an example in the blues genre. It can be in any kind of genre of music. It can be on any chord, you know. You can do it with any chord. The idea was just to show you something that is sort of universal and we've kind of all heard before. But the idea behind it, again, is to use more fingers, more moving bass line, a little bit more speed. But again, it can be used in any genre of music. I love finger picking. I hope you enjoyed this part 1 and part 2 of this more advanced style of finger picking. And it's so cool. It feels like a whole band. It sounds like a whole band, you know, that we have in our hands. So practice hard, be patient with yourself, and I'll see you at the next lesson.